And then John Cena hits X, pushes his chant, does it twice. Sounds so nice? The GOAT said it twice. The second Mason Rook appeared on NXT, the conversation immediately stopped being about wrestling. Nobody cared about the movement, the explosiveness, the agility, the offense. The discussion became, why does he look like that? And that's fascinating because wrestling fans claim that they care about in-ring ability, storytelling, charisma, uniqueness, and a dozen more things. But in reality, a lot of fans now judge wrestlers from screenshots, not matches, screenshots. And if the physique doesn't match what WWE conditioned wrestling fans expect, people instantly decide the wrestler isn't believable. That's exactly what happened here. Let's actually watch Will Cruz, now known as Mason Rook, work. When a 260-pound lean guy does a moonsault, you expect it. When someone built like Rook does it, your brain just short circuits for a second. That second is what wrestling magic is made of. And on the indie scene, this is exactly what made him a cult favorite. He wasn't just a big guy who moves. He had aura. He had that presence that makes the crowd lean in. And that's what WWE looked at. The man, earlier known as Will Cruz, signs with WWE as Mason Rook. He shows up in NXT and within 2 weeks, he's not being eased in gently. He's attacking the NXT champion Tony D'Angelo, closing the show, standing over both of them with one line.
And I've arrived in NXT.
Here's what makes Mason Rook interesting. He doesn't move like he looks. That's the appeal. That contradiction creates spectacle. That's why wrestlers like Vader, Bam Bam Bigelow, Kevin Owens, Gunther, Bronson Reed work so well. Their bodies created the surprise, and the surprise is one of the most important things in wrestling because wrestling at its core is all about control and predictability. Mason Rook's offense feels unpredictable because his body makes the movement feel bigger. And honestly, that's something modern wrestling desperately needs. Too many wrestlers today move exactly the same way. Same dive, same pacing, same physique, same offense. But the second someone feels physically different, the audience suddenly becomes uncomfortable. That is not a Mason Rook problem. That's a wrestling culture problem. Kevin Owens has talked about this openly, getting physique comments constantly, multiple times, even while he is main eventing, out-talking everybody, putting on killer matches. And what does he get in response? He is body shamed. Kevin Owens, being Kevin Owens, uses that as a fuel. But the fact that he has to address it all tells you everything about how shallow a section of this fan base still is. Dusty Rhodes literally built his character around not looking like the athlete of the day. He was the common man. He was you in the ring, and he became one of the greatest of all time. Gunther, he started out way heavier. He dominated Europe, put on absolute classics, and he chose to transform his body on his own terms after his reputation was already built. And some fans now project that arc onto every big man as if it's a mandatory step. He'll slim down like Gunther and then he will be good. Strip away your idea of a perfect physique for a second and just watch the tape. And ask yourself, if this exact moveset and presence came in a chiseled six-pack package, you'd be calling him a generational signing. I'm gonna ask you this honestly. When you say, I can't take Mason Rook seriously, are you critiquing his wrestling or are you just admitting that your brain is still locked into a physique standard that the company itself claims it walked away from? Because 10 years from now, if Mason Rook becomes a Kevin Owens style main eventer or a Gunther style final boss, becoming world champion, nobody is going to remember the tweets about his waist. They are going to remember his matches. And I am very much looking forward to what Mason Rook offers in the WWE. Let me know in the comment section below. This has been a good old rant. As usual, I am Hari from Wrestling Scenarios signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.